What's going on, people? It's your man, the White Bee, freezing his fucking ass off. You best believe it's cold, man. It's meant to be 8 degrees out there, man. They're bugging. They're about rigging the temperature thermometers, man. There's no way it's 8 degrees out there, man. It's freezing out here, man. Jesus. Okay, now, anyway, where was I? Shout out to my doggy Martin Skirsis for coming through and boosting up the coin. You best believe it. So, we got some breaking news right now, leaked exclusive news about 2025 from His Turkulency, Prince Turki Halal Sheikh. Here we go. The Ring can exclusively reveal that Turkey is currently in advanced negotiations to finalise deals for the upcoming fights. And we're going to get to the names, but before we get to that, I think it's important to throw in there, a lot of the time, we hear about, we're finalised, advanced, and it's bullshit. In fact, before Turkey, most of these kind of ones, most of these news events where it'd say, finalised and advanced, I'd do a video on it because I got to get paid, but in my mind, in the back of my mind, I'd know that it's probably cap and or waffle. But since Turkey's put his name to it, this post came out exclusively on the Ring magazine, which is owned by Turkey. So number one, we know this has definitely happened. Number two, the substantialness of advanced negotiations. When it's Turkey, it carries serious weight. We have circumstantial evidence anyway. We know, for example, one of the names is Canelo on there. Now, a month ago, you might have said, no, YB, that's cap. There's no way he's doing nothing with Canelo. 2-2s, Canelo's in London with Turkey grinning, shaking hands and kissing babies. So, putting it all together, Turkey don't play like that, I don't believe. He's not going to throw a name out there and it's nowhere done at all. In fact, he came out calling Canelo out 3-4 months ago, back in August. So, for him to drop Canelo's name in this tells me that there's no playing here. We're fixing to get this. Now, the rest of the post says, before we get to the names, these boxers will be fighting on the world's first Ring magazine cards in 2025, which will be named after an upcoming game. Okay, so he's got some moody plug there, but forget about the moody game. We ain't playing the video games out here, man. We like the Penans. People, let me tell you something now. Every minute, you spend on video games is one less minute you could be enjoying with the Penans. You best believe that one. Anyway, where was I? The names now. So, I mean, what he could have done, I guess he's trying to wait for the final announcement, but we're going to do it for you, man, now anyway. My point was, there's a whole bunch of names here, 16 man deep. What they haven't done is give us the matchups. But we know what the matchups are anyway. Bah, here we go. So you got Canelo on this list. You got Crawford on this list. Now, looking through here, they'll give it away. Because there's no one on this list for Canelo. Canelo's at 168. There's no 168 pounders on here at all. Oops. That means Canelo is negotiating to fight Crawford, which is banging. Honestly, man, whatever you say about this cat, Turkey is a dictator, and man, Jamal Khashoggi, whatever. That guy's dead now. All we got left, for us, man, who are still suffering this wicked pain, we might as well enjoy some boxing. Right? Jamal gone. He's gone now. He's on to the shadow realm, so we might as well enjoy this little piece of titillation and gladiatorial games for the unwashed masses. You know what I'm saying? So listen, we're getting Canelo versus Crawford. Banging. That's mad. And I can't wait to see what the odds are. And if the odds are half decent, if Canelo isn't a huge favourite, I'm going with Canelo all day and night. Crawford will feel something in there, I believe. They say it's cliche, there's weight classes for a reason. Jamal Charlo, whatever you say about him, he's a solid dude. Career 154 pounder. He got in there with Carrot Top and he didn't want nothing to do with it. He wanted nothing to do with it. Seasoned men, Callum Smith, who just whooped George Groves, got in there, he didn't want, and that's a big old oath, Callum Smith, he didn't want nothing to do with it. It's only actually at this point Bivol who held up to it, and he's a big old dude himself. It took being that big to hold the shots. Crawford is not going to be able to hold the shots. A 135 pumped up is not going to be able to hold the shots. That said, if Crawford's gas tank's good, his best strategy would be survive the first 6 and give it to him, because Carrot Top gets slower. But I mean, it's fair to say also that Carrot Top is over the hill. Who's saying Crawford isn't though? I think Crawford's a few years older than Canelo as well. So I'll tell you this for free. The Spence fight, at this point at least, is looking like Crawford's peak. He fell off in that Madrimov fight. That Madrimov fight, he went life and death in that fight. And that's the point I'm making. If you're going life and death with Madrimov, yes, Madrimov's tricky and giving you moody looks and whatnot, but if you're struggling to finish your dinner or even do anything, it wasn't like Crawford dominating. Some people think Madrimov won. The fight was like a 55-45 type fight. If you're having to back up against Madrimov, who's a 154 pounder, who's not even a big puncher like that, you're going to feel something from Carrot Top. Seriously. You're probably going to feel it. The shots are going to wing on you. It don't even have to hit you right. The shot's going to hit you on your arm like everyone else. Yeah? Callum Smith, big old dude, right? Whack you on your arm and you think, ow, that's some serious power. And that's Callum Smith at 168, career 168 pounder. Never mind. A dude pumped up from I think he was dead at 135, but even if you call him a 147 pounder, he's going at 3 weight classes. And yes, Canelo himself could probably make 160, but to make that jump, I guess you can argue, well, he's a 154 guy now. Is he though? He's had Madrimov was brand spanking new. Madrimov was green. He had like 10 fights. As much as of the amateur pedigree he may or may not have, he still only had 10 pro fights. So he was green. Crawford hasn't had a bespoke win. It's not like, okay, YB, it was Crawford who knocked out Tim Tszyu and whooped his ass. He's got no wicked win at 154. If anything, he was struggling, that's fair to say. Crawford was struggling at 154. He did not maul all over. He was backpedaling and running. He's not going to be able to do that with Canelo, I don't believe. Maybe he will. Maybe he'll be able to fiddle his way through it. I don't think, as much as I like Crawford, he's not Floyd. He's not as... Floyd was, listen, I critique Floyd, but Floyd was... He knew what he was doing, man. Crawford's not that magical. I don't believe. He's not that magical. He's more aggressive than Floyd to some extent, but he's not... I think you need some sort of magic or size to beat Carrot Top. You're not going to just... I think this fight, Carrot Top and Crawford's going to look like Plant. Yeah, you see how Crawford fought Madrimov? He looked like Plant. Just backing up. He looked like Shakur Stevenson backing up and not can't do no damage in there. Carrot Top going to walk straight through him, seriously. If you thought he didn't respect Jermell Charlo's power, you got no idea. He's going to walk right onto him. Seriously. There'll be nothing he could do. I believe that anyway. Listen, it's a good fight though, I ain't going to lie to you. It's obviously probably one of the top fights I'll be intrigued about. Let's see how great Crawford is. Let's see how great Crawford is. He wants it. Great. Wicked. Carrot Top's fighting bums anyway, so this is great. Anyway, moving on now. AJ. We've got... AJ's on the list. Oh, and you've also got Bakole on there. Now, this is somewhat interesting. And I'll tell you why. I've got a video coming soon. Team AJ have come out and said, we want to make AJ versus Dillian White, AJ versus Wilder, or AJ versus Bakole. Now, you can forget about Wilder. I've got a video coming soon. Wilder's locked in to fight one of the biggest, most useless stiffs, Bummingtons of all time. Seriously. You're going to be shot. I called it anyway. I called it last week. I said, listen, there's a reason Wilder's not fighting with Turki. Because Turki wouldn't put on the complete stinker he's fixing to have. And lo and behold, he's fighting back to Deontay Wilder's old ways. He's a bum slayer. I hate to break it to all you dudes. Oh, AB, you don't know boxing. I know boxing, and I've been doing this 20 years, and I know Wilder can punch. Why is he fighting bums for? Why is it every boxer he fights, who's half alive? Fury can't do nothing. Parker can't do nothing. Zhang can't do nothing. 70-year-old Ortiz, Andy Ruiz, who can't punch for toffee, put down 4 times. That's the guy you're talking about. Yeah, Ortiz was winning that fight outside of the knockdowns, but that shows you how compromised Ortiz's chin was. Yeah? For Ruiz to put you down 4 times, you shot to bits, and it had nothing to do, oh, well, why be? Wilder loosened his chin up. No. Wilder didn't loosen up Fury's chin. Oops. Fury was already getting off the canvas against Cunningham, cruiserweight. So his chin was already like that. And you still couldn't put him away. And you hit him flush. How many times? 4 times. Wilder put him down, couldn't do nothing. Okay? So Wilder's... Anyway, I've digressed. You can forget about the AJ versus Wilder. At this point, no, they've got AJ and Bakole. They haven't mentioned Dillian White. Now, Dillian White may not be considered to be a premium name anymore. So is it a case of AJ is negotiating with Dillian White, but Turkey thought, nah, I can't bother to put him on this list, because this list is pretty premium. That makes sense. Turkey probably thought, hey man, I don't want to put the guy who went life and death with Purple Aki on this list. Because I'll be for people, let me call it spade now. There's only 2 names on this list. Or 1 name, sorry. You got AJ and Bakole. They're the only heavyweights on this list. And everyone else really is engaged, to be honest. Fury's gone. Usyk's not fighting AJ. Caballero and Zhang are busy. It's only Bakole and AJ left. Dubois is busy. Parker's busy. So, literally, Wilder's busy now. Fighting bums again. Bummington's a month. Yeah, top United States Bummington is what Wilder's about to do next in April. So he's out of the mix as well. AJ's got 2 options. Well, effectively, from what Eddie Hearn said. Bakole or Dillian White. Now, if AJ takes Bakole, man, seriously, I've been very critical of AJ. But if AJ gets in there with Bakole, I will say, fair play to you, man. I must have been missing something all this time. Seriously. I really will give him credit for that, because he's got no... I think there are vulnerabilities to Bakole. He does get tired. He couldn't, people. Tony Yoka, watch that fight back. I've been doing a lot of research recently on Bakole, because I've obviously got a hard-on for him, or had a hard-on. I'm semi-long now for him. Pause. But I've been doing research. I thought, if this guy's such a killer, yeah, why didn't he blow Tony Yoka's back out? I watched the fight back. The last 4 or 5 rounds, he was absolutely hooked. Proper. He was blowing out of his arse. Seriously, he was proper hanging. Couldn't do nothing. Them last few rounds, I think Yoka won some of them last few rounds, for example. And Bakole was putting a whooping on him. And he couldn't finish his dinner. Seriously, people. Yoka was ready to go. Yoka got beat by Takam on points. Right? And it's not because Takam was that great or that Yoka was that good. Bakole was blowing, man. He was goosed down the last 4 or 5 rounds. And that's why I tell you now that I'm not sure he'd do anything with Usyk if he didn't catch him. I mean, it took him 5 rounds to catch Anderson, who's right there. Yeah? And his feet were stiff. Took him 5 rounds to catch up with him. And he hit him clean in the first round. So it's like, well, how dangerous is this guy? If I'm honest. Honestly. Taking away the size, my sexualism. I'd like to come on here and tell you, Bakole's too big, too strong, but I can see him getting tired, and he's slow as molasses. Slow as molasses. You can be as big as you want. If you're blowing out your arse, it don't matter how big you are. You're just big. You end up being a big for nothingness. Yeah, a big for nothingnessism is what you end up being in that ring with no cardio. And he keeps putting weight on. Some people are saying it's paying off. Listen, obviously, we have to see the odds. Yeah, hopefully enough of the AJ homosexuals get behind Bakole. Get behind AJ so we can pump the AJ odds up and we get a 50-50. But listen, I've caught again. Bakole's going to blow AJ's back out, is my base case. But there are broader questions with Bakole for me. Outside of that, I don't think AJ's ever going to fight Bakole. Obviously, it's pitched on, it's the... Mr. Africa, the Thriller in Manila, is it? That's not even Africa, is it? What's one of them names, man? The Rumble in the Jungle was the one I was thinking of, people. Yeah, the Rumble in the Jungle. If the money's there, but really? Has AJ been psyoped so hard by Ben Davidson? Has he cooked his head so much? Has AJ been spending so many days in a dark cabin that he actually wants to get in there with Bakole? Okay, now that's a crazy psyop, man. That's a true MK Ultra in he got, right? The AJ who just got mollywopped by Dubois to jump back in there with Bakole. There's no chance it's going to happen. How do we know there's no chance it's going to happen? He'd have got back in there with Dubois, right? You might as well. Dubois and Bakole, apples and red apples and green apples at this point, right? Ugh. They're both not a nice work. So if you had to get in there with one of them, you might as well run it, the rematch, for a belt. Surely. He didn't do that. So is he going to really want to fight Bakole for nothing? I doubt it. This is the okie doke, I believe. Yeah. Eddie Hearn's putting their name together. Yeah, well, we were going to fight Bakole, but we chose Dillian Whyte. I'll be very shocked. And I'll give AJ credit. He's going to fight Dillian Whyte. And rightfully so. Again, if I was advising AJ, I'd say, listen, that Bakole fight ain't going nowhere. Yeah? He looks shocking against Dubois, right? There's nothing smart or cute, really, about looking shocking. And it makes sense. Dillian Whyte fight makes sense. You can get some good rounds in and try and look better than you did. Jumping back in there with Bakole, I'm not sure what he's trying to prove doing that. He's not going to do that anyway. Get in there with Dillian Whyte. I sign off on that fight. It's got the fan intrigue. AJ needs it after that whooping he took and he looked leaky-deaky. Yeah. And beat Dillian Whyte and then fight Bakole if you wanted to, or Dubois rematch. That Bakole fight ain't going nowhere. Listen, people. AJ's just been sparked out by Dubois. So, if he beats Dillian Whyte, that Bakole fight's still sitting there. And at least then we'd have a narrative. If AJ looked really good, and it goes 5 rounds, and he's looking good, people can then say, oh, AJ versus Bakole. At this point, I mean, we'll take it. I'm not complaining, but if I was advising AJ, and Eddie Hearn knows what he's doing, there's no way Eddie Hearns is trying to throw AJ in there with Bakole before he's even fought a Tyson Fury. Dillian Whyte's a nice filler fight. Let Tyson Fury have 6 months-ish off. We'll fight Dillian Whyte and then reassess, because Fury will probably be back on the scene. That said, where is F.A. Jagba? Because that was the fight. And in fact, we know Bakole's not going to fight AJ anyway. We know that. Because F.A. Jagba, Martin Bakole was at the Ring Awards saying, oh, I'm fighting F.A. Jagba next. So they've thrown this in here. I'm talking about 2 different videos here. Turki's not lying. He is negotiating with Bakole. Where the lies do come in, Eddie Hearn's lying about, yeah, we're in negotiation. Eddie Hearn said earlier today, oh yeah, we're negotiating with Bakole and Dillian Whyte. You're not negotiating with Martin Bakole at all. He's fighting F.A. Jagba, which makes sense. Because both dudes, Jagba's been popped by Frank, soft to the body Sanchez. So he's got nowhere to go. And Bakole, no one wants him. So they're going to go to get together for sure. Yeah? And have a battle of the Who Don't Want Them club. Not that Jagba's dangerous, but just no. You got beat by Frank, soft to the body Sanchez is what happened. So he has to take this Bakole fight. This Bakole fight could get a Jagba back on, right? There's no way AJ's fighting him. Anyway, so we've done the top 3. In New A, Nick Ball's not on here. Nick Ball has a fight booked against a complete bum. A proper bum Nick Ball's fighting. I don't want to see a New A versus no more bums, to be honest. No more bums for him. I'm sick of seeing him fight bums. Nick Ball, he's crude, but I know what he's going to do. He's going to come in, chin down with his hand stuck to his head, and he's going to have a go. That's what I need to see a New A in there with. These little dudes that they can't fight. I'm sorry, they can't. The little dudes can't really fight. It happened with Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux's all tricky in that. Loma put it on him and he cacked his pants. These little ones can't really fight like that, I got to be honest. A lot of them little man can't fight. The truth. Yeah, Nick Ball go in there and Inoue probably beat him. But at least I know what we'll know what we're looking at then, right? If Inoue knocks Nick Ball spark out, we then know, oh, okay, this guy's really serious. At the moment, he's a bum slayer. I hate to say that. Or you pump up Bam Rodriguez. But Bam Rodriguez is not on the list. So, I don't know, it's probably going to be a bum of the month for Inoue. The next interesting one is Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. This fight is likely done as well, I'm hearing now. Yeah, Devin Haney said, you need to do 24/7 VADA testing, and I agree with that. Ryan Garcia said, okay, I'll do it if you drop the lawsuit. And apparently, they've both locked in. Apparently, the fight's going to be at a 144-pound weight. Catch weight. I don't know why they're bothering. They're both big old dudes. Do a 147-pound type thing. At least that gets you in contention then for a run at 147. I don't know what's the point 275-pound men doing the catchweight for? Just come in there, 147 wouldn't be, that's still cutting weight, right? What's the point in 270-pound dudes on fight night? Weighing in 144, weighing 147, man. Stop playing. But yeah, I'm intrigued about that fight. You just don't know what Ryan Garcia is going to turn up. He looked good in spurts against Devin. But there's a reason Devin didn't get stopped. Ryan Garcia, out of 12 rounds, he worked for about 3 or 4 of them. The rest of the time, he was goosed, smoking the Snoop Dogg. Right, when you K2 Snoop Dogg, yeah, your lungs are they're all like just spaced out. You can't compete with off the Snoop Dogg, man. So he's all spaced out. He's got no cardio because he's smoked it all away. He's tarred it all away with the tobacco. Yeah, and what do they call that? What's the hippie herb? Ryan Garcia's blown out all of his lung capacity off the hippie herb, the wacky backy. Okay, he was doing that up until fight night, and you know he's off the liquor as well. He caned in the liquor. He's caned in the wacky backy. So you don't know what you're going to get. If I knew Ryan Garcia was locked in, proper training, yeah, training camp for training camp, if both men had the same commitment level of training camp, I'd back Ryan Garcia. People like Ryan Garcia have massive egos. Yeah, he'll see the last fight. Someone like Ryan Garcia will see the last fight and say, yeah, it's a bit like Andy Ruiz. Yeah, they got the same lineage as well, the Aztec one. The Mayan Aztec cats. The same thing. They conquer a land and they get fat and lazy. They think, oh, yes, I've made it now. Ryan Garcia would be exactly the same. He beat the Devin up and he'll think, great. I know what to do now. Not understanding that it's not that simple. You have to put work in. Especially when someone like Devin Haney, whatever you say about him, he is meticulous. He's not faffing around in training, if that makes sense. He does work hard. He's always in shape. He's always got 12 rounds of gas. And if anything, it wasn't Devin Haney's chin or Devin Haney's defense that bailed him out. It was Devin Haney's conditioning that got him to the end of that fight. It wasn't nothing else, was it? No defense to see. He had no chin. It was cardio. Cardio underpins all them elements. If you've got no cardio, your chin's about to go the minute something touches you. If you've got no cardio, your defense will fall apart even quicker. If you've got no cardio, you're fish food. So Devin Haney does have good conditioning. Ryan Garcia does not. Given how dominant Ryan Garcia was, I remember 1 or 2 rounds, he just stood there, he was knackered. I'm thinking, like, to be the offensive guy, to be the guy in control and calm, and to be tired, it shows you really haven't got no cardio. I believe Ryan Garcia was in better shape for the Tank Davis fight, to be honest. I think he was better in that fight, conditioning-wise. And he's gone a bit off the rails ever since. But yeah, it's a toss-up. I'd lean towards Ryan, obviously. But everyone, in terms of gambling, Ryan's going to be a massive favourite. But I can't bank. I have a feeling about his mentality. He'll get lost in the sauce and think, I don't need to train for this guy. I'll just hit him with a left hook. And he'll do a few left hooks in training and go home. That's what he'll do. And it doesn't work like that. Because Devin will come. I've watched Devin's training. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work, but he's stuck to his head now. He's got his right hand stuck to his head. So Ryan Garcia is going to have to really set it up this time. I don't think you're going to catch him with the okie doke as easily. Now again, if Ryan Garcia has the same amount of gas as Devin Haney, it's Ryan Garcia all day, but I don't trust him. We've also got Shakur Stevenson on there and Tuikafimo Lopez, but it's unlikely. I think, no, Tuikafimo's at 140 anyway, so forget about that bar. Who we can link Lopez with is Isaac Pitbull Cruz. That's an alright fight, why not? That's a good fight. Teofimo, he tends to be a big fighter. He sucks when he's fighting bums. He really does suck. He can't punch for toffee. He can't do nothing with bums, so he's better off fighting. He's a big fighter, so that's good for him. Shakur Stevenson, we know, has been linked with Zepeda, so that looks like that's going to happen. Jai Upper Stinker. There's no names on here for him, but you'd like to think. I think Ramirez, I think he booked another fight. I don't know what's wrong with it. I mean, there's people are telling me why he beat. They're all ducking Upper Stinker. This guy just fought in December. No, he hasn't got a fight booked. He fought in November, against Chris Bellum-Smith. I swear he had a fight booked. If he doesn't have a fight booked... okay, well, maybe not. Maybe I imagine that. Wicked then. It's weird that he put Ramirez on the list though. But you'd like to think it's got to be Ramirez in there for Upper Stinker now. That's the only... I'll give Jay Apataya credit if he smokes Ramirez. If he knocks Ramirez out. Or he proper dominates Ramirez. I don't think he will. I think it'll be life and death. Seriously. Because Ramirez can work as well. He really can work for all the rounds. Upper Stinker can't. Upper Stinker's really explosive for the first 8 and his wheels fall off. And you don't want to fight no more. So the first person who not only takes him 12 rounds but pushes him in the back straight, he's going to get punched up. Bradis was 40 years old and he showed you the blueprint. Yeah, stay with him for the first 6. You know what I mean? Stay cute for the first 6 and then put it on him. And his legs will fall off, for sure. His chin's suspect as well, got to be honest. That other dude, that David Nakia on 2 weeks' notice came in and popped him on his chin and he's doing a stanky leg. He was hitting a nay-nay. So, if some dude, some amateur cat, David Nakia, makes you hit the stanky leg, there's no reason Ramirez can't. Ramirez, he punches and bunches. Good angles, good footwork. I think the fight's 50-50. Obviously, because of the hype, I'll lean towards Upper Stinker. And I'm not going to gamble on it. Listen, if Upper Stinker goes in 7-1 favourite, I'll put some bread on Ramirez. Because there's no way it's a 7-1 type fight. I got it 50-50, 60-40 at a push for Upper Stinker. And that's only because of the hype, to be honest. I think Ramirez has done more in his career. That's what I think. I think Ramirez did get boxed up though by Bivol, but I think he was weight drained. He looks better at this weight. Anyway, what other ones have we got? Eubank and Conor Benn. So this, in a way, we know today, the 15th, this has been confirmed. Yeah, Eubank and Benn. Point. So already, if you've got 2 of these fights on here, if we've got 2 of these names confirmed, then it's fair to assume a lot of these things I'm talking about are going to be a similar case, right? That fight's confirmed. Bash. So it's likely Alvarez and Crawford are going to be confirmed. Garcia and Haney going to be confirmed. Okay, we've talked about Cruz, we've talked about Zepeda, we've talked about Bakole. I guess, Bakole's got to be a Jagba. If it's not AJ, which is never going to be AJ. I wouldn't mind seeing Bakole and Dillian White though. Yeah? I guess the argument is Dillian White isn't ranked, so it would be Bakole's 1 or 2 now, so it'd be a sidestep for him. I mean, do you know what I mean? He should be trying to eat at this point. He can fight anyone. A Jagba or Dillian White, I'd have a go on Dillian White myself, but Dillian White ain't going to fight Bakole. We've also got Anthony Yarde. He will be fighting a bum, for sure. He'll be fighting a bit like when Chris Eubank. Turkey has done a few bum fights. He let Chris Eubank fight the Skarametsky. So they do happen on Turkey cards. Yard will fight a bum, for sure. Fact. No doubt about it. Because all the other ones at 175, they're busy. David Morrell and Benavidez, they're busy. Beterbiev Bivol, they're busy. Buatsi Callum Smith, they're busy. And Yard loves it when everyone's busy because he can say, man, no one will fight me, so I have to fight. So I've got to call up Deliveroo headquarters and find what driver's going to be working on March the 17th weekend so he can come off his shift and fight me. Okay, now Adam Azim, I don't know who he'll be fighting, but I know we do know for a fact is Azim ducked Eddie Hearn's dude. So anyway, there's the breakdown, people. Let me know your thoughts. This is banging for boxing, I'm not gonna lie to you. This guy Turkey, and it's crazy as well, it's on his card. I speculated that, Turkey can't be that rich. There's no way Turkey's going to be paying out of his own pocket. It turns out Turkey must be, I think he might be a billionaire. That might make sense. Even as a billionaire, though, I can't believe he'd be digging into his own pocket for this. Fair play to him, but he'd have to be worth like 30 billion If you're worth 1 billion, yeah, and you're paying AJ 30 mil, you can't do many of them, and you're yourself. So you must have, even if I had 10 billion now, I still wouldn't want to pay these big oafs money that I'm not recouping, because he must be running a huge loss here, I'd assume. He's not doing, maybe not. I do have to say, I do wonder about the numbers that are being thrown out there. Yeah, Dillian, I mean, Usyk and Fury both got 100 million. I'm skeptical of that. That would be like triple, maybe not triple actually, Canelo, but Canelo's got the US market. The US market's like 3 or 4 times more lucrative than the UK, bottom line. So when Canelo's digging people's pocket in America for £80 a pop, the UK one, the pay-per-view's dirt cheap, and not as many people watch them either. The biggest numbers we've got is like AJ got 2 million at £20, which is 40 mil. That's like, what are you going to do with that? Right? So, I don't know. But listen, fair play to him either way. I do want to look, though, and see if Turkey is a billionaire. Turkey Al Sheikh net worth. There's only 43 as well. Some people are saying, these online things are fugazi, man. Some people say 700 mil. Other people say 3 mil. Who knows what's going on behind the scenes. I'll be very shocked if he's paying for it out of his own pocket, though. That doesn't make sense. But he did, I don't know. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, like off the bell, 100%. There's no doubt about this on people. Stop it.